So the only thing I could think of in the format here that would really burn us would be Farewell, which is a rare sweeper, so I think we're in the clear. Wasn't really too keen on playing around rares, but that would certainly be a problem. Oh my gosh, that's just brutal. Hello Daily Drafters, today is Thursday, February 17th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. As we get into the content here, we're going to start as we always do, giving a nice shout out to those in the subscriber community for choosing to spend a part of your day here with me. And for those of you that are missing out and not part of it yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button attached to this video. Remember, it's free, doesn't cost you a dime, and then you'll have access to the most consistent, high-quality, limited content on YouTube. Let's dive into this pack one, pick one here, and we see Shigeki Jukai Visionary, which I do like. It's pretty good early, and then you could kind of like bounce it to your hand and then return some stuff from your graveyard, which is pretty good. But I'm a little over drafting green at the moment, and when there's a card like Assassin's Ink or Dockside Chef here, I think I want to lean into one of these. I wouldn't fault you for going either way here, but I think Dockside Chef is more important to making certain black enchantment / artifact decks tick. You know, like black-white or black-red. Dockside Chef is more important of a piece than that. I know Assassin's Ink is a great catch-all removal spell, but I think I want to try to start with the Dockside Chef here and see if we can get into some sort of black artifact enchantment type thing going on. So then we see Jukai Preserver, great green card. Undercity Scrounger, 3 mana for a 1/4 artifact creature, and you could tap it to create a treasure token, but only if a creature died this turn. I do like that card as well. There's a Scrap Welder, which is 3 mana 3/3. You could tap it to sack an artifact with mana value X, return artifact with mana value X less than X from your graveyard to the battlefield, and that gains haste. I don't know how much that ability will actually be used, but it does seem pretty good, and it goes well in a deck similar to Dockside Chef. You know, black-red is focused on sacrificing artifacts. Invigorating Hot Spring is pretty good in green-red, but I haven't been super impressed with that deck. Roaring Earth and Azusa's Many Journeys, again, for green-based decks, but I think we're going to try to steer clear of that if we can. I think it's between Scrap Welder and Scrounger, and I'm actually going to take the Scrounger here. I don't think it's the most powerful card in this pack, but it keeps us with Dockside Chef. It gives us an artifact and an enchantment, and and then we can go from there. Now is where we're going to make our first kind of pivoting pick. So the only black card is Reckoner Shakedown. We don't want that card. So it's between something like Intercessor's Arrest, 3 mana, lock down a creature or vehicle, really good, or Experimental Synthesizer. So this is 1 mana. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, you get to exile the top card of your library, and you can play it that turn, including lands. You can pay 3 and a red to sacrifice it to create a 2/2 with Vigilance as a sorcery, and when that happens, you get to play the top card of your library as well. So it's like, do we want to go down red-black or black-white? I'm not sure which of these two cards is better. I think Synthesizer is actually a little bit better than Intercessor's Arrest in some decks. In decks that care about this can be insane. It's like 4 mana, draw 2 cards, it's a 2/2. 4 mana, 2/2, draw 2 cards, which is really good. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Synthesizer. Also, black-red is a deck I kind of want to try out a little bit. I haven't had a chance to play with or against it much, and I think it's a pretty good deck here. And we see another Synthesizer, which goes great with the one we already have. It's an artifact that can be sacrificed. So we're definitely going to take the Synthesizer here, and then maybe we wheel like a Prowler or a Ronin, but I doubt it. But we will absolutely take the Synthesizer, and we're going to be looking to keep our curve pretty low with these cards. We want to be able to play this and then play the thing that we flip off of it that turn as well. So with that in mind, if we're thinking black-red, there's Simian Sling, which is a 1 mana 1/1. They can reconfigure for 2 to put it on something and give it +1/+1 and ping whenever it gets blocked. There's Kami of Terrible Secrets, which is actually a really good card, and so far we have 3 artifacts and an enchantment. And I think this will be pretty consistently a 4 mana 3/4 draw card, gain a life. There's another Scrounger, and there's Pillar of Order. So if we had gone with the Intercessors of Rest. I think we'd probably be taking Naomi here and then going down a black-white path. But I want to take the cheap red card here to go with our double synthesizers that we already have. It's a decent little thing to sacrifice to Chef if we need to. It's a cheap enough card. So we will go ahead and take that one. And now things start looking not great. I think Clawing Torment is decent. It's probably playable. It counts as an enchantment. And I like the start that we have here in kind of a grindy black-red sacrifice artifact type deck. So I think rather than dig into maybe... We could hedge our bets with Enthusiastic Mechanaut. But it doesn't actually go great with what we have so far unless we pick up a lot of blue and red artifacts. Because this doesn't make anything in our deck cheaper except the Scrounger, I suppose. So I think I'm just going to go with Clawing Torment and see what comes our way. So here's a late Jukai Preserver, pick 7. But not sure I want to move into green, at least not yet. There's Nezumi Blade Blesser, which is pretty consistently going to have Death Touch in our deck already. And every card that we have is both an artifact and an enchantment. So it's 3 mana, 3/2 Death Touch Menace. It's pretty good in our deck already. So I think we can go ahead and take this. And then get cut off of both black and red pretty hard. So that's pretty awkward here. So we're going to have to go into a second color, and there's a couple decent cards we can do so with. Selfless Samurai is a great white card, and Careful Cultivation is a decent-ish green card. I think I'm just going to take the Samurai and not put too much signal into that just yet. Now we have Katana Imperial Oath. Imperial Oath just looks like a clunky card, but I don't know, my opponents have cast it against me a couple times, and it's just pretty good, you know? 6 mana, 6/6 worth of power that has Vigilance, and you scry 3. It's really, it's a card that matters. We'll just take a return to action here, though, to go on our black plan. You know, kind of can pump one of our creatures, give it a little lifelink buff, and then return it to the battlefield as well. Jukai Preserver, pick 10. Look, I mean, this is probably the best green common, and if no one's drafting green, I suppose I'll take it. I mean, maybe we can go like a black-green good cards or red-green aggro good cards. I'm going to take the Jukai Preserver. It's the best card in the pack, and then we get another one. I think we might be the only green draft at the entire table if we take these two. Because what else are we taking? Ogre? I don't think we care about that. So let's take the second Jukai Preserver. We see a Tanuki and a Commune with Spirits. I guess we'll take the Tanuki here. And not really sure which route we're going around, except for the fact that green seems to be pretty wide open. I do like having a Scrounger here, though. This kind of bridges the deck, the gap between red-black and maybe like a black-green kind of deck. So we'll take the Scrounger. The second to last pick, Mothrider Patrol, is disrespectful. And last pick, Jukai Preserver. What am I missing about this card? It's a good card. And then we see Kura the Boundless Sky, and now we're green. So, yeah, that happened. 5 mana 4/4 flying Death Touch, and when it dies, you basically create a spirit, an XX spirits, where X is the number of lands you control. So it's a 5 mana 4/4 flyer that dies into like a 6/6. That's pretty crazy. There's a Spirited Companion. There's a Goshentai of Shared Purpose. I really hope we'll be able to get into a Shrine deck at least once this format, but I don't think this will be the day. But we are absolutely taking Kura here. And probably looking to go black-green. We can find some good black removal spells here. Keep a Reckoner Raid is a great card I'd love to have access to, but we're taking Kura and not looking back. Okay, so here we have Replication Specialist, which is a great card with artifacts, but we are highly incentivized to play green so far, and it doesn't go well in that particular deck. There is Fang of Shigeki, which is a decent enough green card. I think green is our highest probability to play now that we have these 5 cards. There's Mukotai Ambusher, but I think you need some good synergies to make that work. There is Ecologist Terrarium if we wanted to do some splashing kind of stuff. There's also Network Terminal if we wanted to splash, but I think I'm going to take just Fang of Shigeki to lean into Kura and triple Preserver so far, because I really would like to play green here. Now we see Tawashi Guidebot. 4-mana 2/1 enters, you put a 1/1 counter on something, and then you could pay 4 tap to draw a card, and it costs 1 less to cast for each modified creature. That could be pretty good, but I don't think we're leaning super modified, at least not yet. I think I'll take the Scrounger here, and we might have to give up on these synthesizers, but I think our green and black cards are going to end up being better than a couple synthesizers, as much as I want to try this card and this deck out. We'll take another Scrounger. Well, using the same logic, we can wheel this Jukai Preserver if we really want to. There's also the Long Reach of Night, which has been a real problem against me. I've had this card cast against me 2 or 3 times, and it's been a problem. It's at least a 2-for-1 that comes with a creature that can sometimes attack as like a 6/4 menace or something like that. So I think I'm going to take it here. And we could wheel anything from Scrounger to Kami's Flare to Preserver to Bloodfell Caves and be totally fine with all of those. This is a really good pack. If Preserver comes back, then we're going to crowd up our 4-drop slot even more. So here's Oni Cult Anvil if we were going to be going down red-black. But again, I think at this point we're kind of committed to green-black unless something goes crazy, like we open the Red Dragon or something in pack 3. So if we're thinking green-black, we're probably looking at one of these 3 cards. And I think Fade into Antiquity, the first copy of it, is good enough to main deck. There is an Uncharted Haven, but as far as splashing goes, we're not really interested in splashing yet. So we'll just take the first copy of Fade into Antiquity here. Now we see another Fang, a Gravelighter. I don't think a Gravelighter is that great. What are some things we'd be willing to sacrifice? Not a lot. If we don't line up the creature dying, then this is going to be a 3-mana 2/2 each player sacks a creature. So we'll just take another Fang here. Just a good green drop to get on the battlefield. And then there's an Okiba Reckoner Raid. 1 mana, 2/2 menace, drains 2. Takes a couple turns to get there, but it's one of the better black commons. I'm not sure if I am on the train that it's the best black common, but I think it's pretty close. It's a very, very good card. All of these sagas are very good in this format. And I love the art on that one. It's like a rat operative or something. So we'll take Reckoner Raid here. Then we see Network Terminal for splashing, Reckoner Shakedown, which we don't care about. And that's about it. So I guess we'll put the Network Terminal into the sideboard here. Another Return to Action or a Reckoner's Bargain. I think we could just take another Return to Action. We don't really have good synergies with Reckoner's Bargain right now. I'll go ahead and move these red cards to the sideboard for the time being, and then we'll take that second Return to Action. Now there's a Tamiyo's Completion and another Network Terminal. Maybe we could take Completion if we get enough fixing to splash a couple of completions if we run low on removal. We haven't seen any of the black removal spells yet. So we'll take this in the event that we're able to splash it. Dramatist's Puppet. Don't think that's for us. Neither really is Kami of Restless Shadows, but we'll cut the black card. Another Scrounger is great. So this is the one where the Preserver could have come back, but it didn't. So it looks like someone else tried to move into green as well. Or the entire table does not know how good Jukai Preserver is. One of the two things. We will cut the black card. These don't matter. And there we go. And let's see what we open here in pack 3. Tameshi Reality Architect. Good card, but I think it's a little bit far away from what we're able to be doing right now. We could think about splashing it, but not entirely sure that would be a great plan. Because the activation needs white, so we'd have to splash blue and white, and that's not really where we want to be. Don't think anything up here is worth splashing, so we're looking between Fade into Antiquity, and I think a Kami of Terrible Secrets is a little bit underwhelming of a first pick here, but we do have 4 artifacts and 10 enchantments, so I think this is going to be on pretty often for our deck. Now, one problem we're running into is that we're going to have a lot of 4-drops here, but I think this Kami is going to go well enough in our deck. So we currently have 14 creatures, which is very good. And we're looking for some of the black removal. Would be great if we can find it. So here we have Geothermal Kami, which we're looking to pick up thing. We could pick up Dockside Chef, Reckoner Raid, Fang. Those are the best targets, which are not bad targets. It's another 4-drop though. Jukai Trainee if we need to fill out our low curve because we have no 2-drops currently. Tales of Master Shishiro has been very good. But I think our top end is pretty well secured. As much as I don't want to take a Jukai Trainee here, we don't have any 2-drops except for Combat Tricks. So I think we have to take the 2-mana card here. Now we see Goshentai of Hidden Cruelty. It's a 4-mana. It's another 4-mana card, though, is the problem. It's got Death Touch, and then it can destroy tiny creatures unless you get multiple shrines on the battlefield. I think it's a little late to live the shrine life. So we have Inkrise Infiltrator, which is a great ninjutsu enabler, but we have 0 ninjutsu in our deck. And there's just another Fang, and I think I'm just going to take another Fang. I would like to play a Tails if we can get it, but not quite yet. Alright, so now we see another Dockside Chef, which I don't think this one is actually the greatest in our deck, to be honest. I mean, it can do some things, but I don't think we're, like, hurting for another one. So there's a Blade Blesser, and there's a You're Already Dead. I don't think this is worth splashing. I've heard it can be pretty good, but I think it takes some setup. You probably want to take this early to make it work. So we're deciding between Dockside Chef and Blade Blesser. I think I'll take another Blade Blesser. It's just a 3-mana, 3/2 Menace Death Touch pretty often in our deck, which is, I think, something we're interested in. All right, Blossom Prancer is a great pickup here. I know it's another expensive card, but this is one of the premium ones. So 5-mana, 4/4 Reach. You can look at the top 5, put a creature enchantment into your hand, or you can gain 4 life if you don't want to do that. There's also a Scrounger. Look, I like these. They seem pretty good. It's a 3-mana 1/4. It holds down the fort for us to get to these cards. There's another Reckoner Raid as well. Sorry about that. So I would love to wheel Reckoner Raid, Ninja's Kunai, or Scrounger, but we can't pass up on Blossom Prancer here. So if we wanted to splash Completion, there is a Thornwood Falls, and the only other card for us is Trashbot, which might not be the end of the world. But I think I'm just going to take the Thornwood Falls here. Well, or not, because it won't let me click on it. So I guess we're taking Runaway Trashbot. Oh well, maybe it'll let me click on Tanuki. Okay, good. I can get this copy of Tanuki. I guess we're not going to be... I guess, you know what, that was a sign from the gods telling us you don't need to splash this card. So we'll take Greater Tanuki here. Another good top end for us. And here's the Tails, but there is a lethal exploit, and I think we just have to take the exploit. We have very little interaction and removal in this deck. And I said I wanted to play a Tails, but we have to take the lethal exploit. Infiltrator. Don't know if we'll play it, but we'll have access. Here's the Tails. We could probably play this Tails depending on what our curve looks like. Another Infiltrator. Don't think we have the cards to make You Are Already Dead work. So we're just going to put that into the sideboard. Another Scrounger. Sure. I mean, I'll keep playing them. Maybe this card isn't very good in our deck, but gosh, if we could just play this, they can't attack through us, and then we go Preserver into Kura, into Tails, into Tanuki, into Tanuki. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to beat that, I think. Don't think we need Clawing Torment here. Alright, so let's take a look at this deck build. So I think 17 lands is correct. I don't think we need to splash, and now we have to cut 8 cards. Clawing Torment is probably on the chopping block. I don't think we need at least one of these. I wouldn't mind keeping all these. Probably need the trainee. I don't think we need the trash bot. And I like everything up here. So we still have to cut 5 cards is the problem. Probably don't need a second return to action. I don't know if we need 5 Scroungers. Still 3 more cards. Why is this under creatures? Because it's creature on the back, I guess? I suppose so. So we have a higher curve here, which means we should not get rid of Fang or Scrounger, too many more Fangs or Scroungers, because that's going to help us get to these cards. We're running a little low on interaction, so I'd like to keep these 3. Maybe we could cut Return and Fade, but then we're just relying on them not playing creatures that outclass ours. But there's a decent chance they don't do that, because we have a lot of top end here. So I think I will actually cut these 2, and then we need 1 more cut. How good is Dockside Chef in this deck? We still have 4 artifacts, 12 enchantments, so we can cut an enchantment and be fine. We need to keep the exploit. Dockside Chef, what are we willing to sacrifice? I mean, not a lot. Well, we're willing to sacrifice the treasure tokens made off of this, which could be pretty good. I think Blade Blesser is going to be good on the curve here. I think Kami will be good. Preservers will be good. Same with Long Reach of Night. All the 5-drops are great, and the double Tanuki will be great too. Maybe it's a Fang. Maybe it's Infiltrator. Infiltrator doesn't seem to go along with the deck. I just wanted it as a 2-drop, but we have, 5 1-drops, which can go a long way here. So I think this looks like a decent little deck here. I think what's going to get in our way is interaction. We are lacking interaction. We have Lethal Exploit, we have Long Reach of Night, and that's pretty much it. So we're just going to have to start dropping top end and hope they can't deal with it, which is a decent chance that'll be able to happen. That's a decent way to win a game, but if they drop a 5/5 dragon or something, then I don't think we can win that game. So let's hope we can get ahead of our opponents before things get out of hand in our direction. So let's turn this losing streak around and get back on the winning side. And on that note, don't forget that here at Daily Draft, we like to make sure that we post every single draft that we record, win or lose, because there is value in learning from losing just as there is from winning. Especially this early in the format. You want to make sure that you have an idea of what the cards do and how they interact with each other. It's still early for all of us. So we will lead on Shigeki here, turn up Lethal Exploit to kill their 2-drop probably. And keep drawing lands. We've got basically all the lands we need for the rest of the game here, so that's good news. Hopefully they play next 2. Or play nothing. Okay. I said we have all the lands we need for the rest of the game. Did you not hear me? Oh well. Okay. Let's get in with Fang. And play a Blade Blesser. Blade Blesser. Nezumi Blade Blesser. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Clearly they have to have a play now. Touch the Spirit Realm, getting rid of Blade Blesser. Okay, that's alright. Holy Lands. At least they're not doing anything. They're really not doing anything. Sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. So, interesting with this, you don't want to play this on an empty board for them because they can choose to sacrifice a creature even if they don't have one. So, you won't want to play this because right now we will get 0 value out of that. So, we're going to wait till they play a creature next turn, ideally. And we're still looking for an X2 to die, but they're not playing anything. Do they have like a hand of like 6 Greater Tanukis or something? Or maybe they're flooding out like us. Terrarium, okay. Maybe white is a splash? Yeah, so maybe their hand is blue. Nope, still nothing. Okay. Alright, and then we'll play Blade Blesser. We'll hold up Lethal Exploit. They have to start doing something now, right? If only we had the, okay, so there's a creature at the very least. And it's something we can kill. So that's nice. If we had a little bit better of a draw, we might have been able to put more pressure on them, but looks like they'll remove our Blade Blesser here. And we will just go ahead and kill the Samurai. And get a Preserver. Let's attack here, and then we'll just play a 4/4. Don't want to put the counter here because a 1/1 Death Touch is essentially the same as a 2/2 Death Touch. So we'll just play a 4-mana 4/4. Yeah, they seem to be flooding out pretty much just as bad as we did. Still nothing. Alright. Repel the Vial, okay. Fang of Shigeki for the win. I think this has done 7 damage to them so far. Okay. Are they going to block it? Okay, that's fine. I think it did its job, did it not? We can end the turn here. Looks like they're going to return an artifact or enchantment and a creature. Makes sense. And then probably channel this one as well. Not sure. I think this game was very winnable had we, you know, drawn like any creatures in the first 5 turns of the game. But still not over. We've got a lot of top end that we can still draw. And they seem to be flooding out just as bad as we are. Selfless Samurai, okay. At least it's a target for Long Reach of Night. So we can play Long Reach, they can channel this and then sacrifice the 1/1, which is most likely. But we need to play this so that we could start getting the backside of it as well. So let's just go ahead and play it. It's essentially like they discarded a card as well because they'll sacrifice this card to it and keep their Samurai, so. They could all also just have a land that they'll pitch. Okay, same thing. And then Scrounger. And no need to play the land. Do they have double blue card maybe? Left in hand? So this gains lifelink, so we can block it here. Can't kill it. It's weird that they played the land, because now they're going to have to either sacrifice this or get rid of their last card. So let's see what they want to do. Okay. So same thing. They'll just sacrifice that and keep their 3/3. We will play Tails here. And then we'll just attack with this one because it has Vigilance, and these can threaten a double block on that. Don't need to tap these for a treasure at this point. We're not really in need of that. So this will flip into a 0/4 with Menace. Still a 0/4. So they have a removal spell, but we're going to block this here. They have nothing. Okay. Well, then let me go ahead and make 2 treasures. Why not? We'll put it on this one here. Get that back. Play here. And we'll attack with both of these. And then we get a 5/5 haste next turn. With Vigilance. Seems pretty good. This attack is a 1/4. So right now we're hitting them for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so it's still not even lethal. So I think we just play this Preserver pre-combat so we can get a counter on something. That's not what I meant to do. We'll put it here just to distribute the wealth a little bit. And hopefully no sweeper. That would be bad. No farewell. Oh my gosh. It's a rare and I called it, didn't I? So they were just sandbagging it, trying to hold these cards in hand because they knew they had farewell. So that's just wonderful. Was it worth playing around there and not playing the Visionary? Or the Preserver? Probably. Jeez, that is brutal. Of course they had farewell. Probably going to have to trade for the Exemplar here if they want to attack. And then hope we stop drawing lands. Because it attacks as a 5/4, so sure. Yeah, it does something, but... Well, actually, next turn they're dead if they don't gain life, so at least there is that. Come on, let's get over the hump. Awesome. Almost got brutally owned by a sweeper, but we battled through it. Alright, bit of an awkward curve, but, you know, it does something. Artifact, Enchantment, 3/2 Menace, Death Touch. That's something. We'll just keep drawing all the lands early on. Alright, so what does this flip into? A 2/3 that you can pay life? Alright, so again, we'll just keep drawing lands. And then I'll gain 4 life. It's on blue, I think. Yeah, so... Hopefully they don't have removal for our Scrounger, because if they do, they get to draw a card. Okay, let's see how this performs for them. Oh, another one. Interesting. Do they have a red land in hand? Of course they do. They'll play the other synthesizer and get another card they can cast. Good thing we have all of the lands. Okay. Now I think we just go Preserver here. And the next turn we can go Blesser, Trainee, even Kami if we want to make sure we get the value of the artifact and the enchantment. Just play the Preserver, probably put the counter on the Scrounger. Because the 3/3 body is doing some good work here. So we'll go ahead and do it like that. And that is something that could get out of hand very quickly because we don't have interaction for it. Well, there's some interaction for it, I suppose. Has Ward 2. And this is about the only time we're going to be able to get value out of this. I think we have to do this now before this gets way out of hand. So let's auto pay and get rid of that. This is a modified creature, so. Don't feel like tapping this for a treasure. So we'll pass. And see how good these synthesizers are doing now? At this point, they have access to 2 more 2/2s with Vigilance, and they can draw 2 more cards with these. So this card is very good. Circuit Mender, another good one. We're going to have to hope that our Tanukis and Dragons and stuff can go over the top of all this. Could be a bit of a grindy game here. Alright, and they're out of gas, so you can start reconfiguring if they want to. Alright. I think we can go Kami and then Fang here. Because we do have an enchantment and an artifact, so we will draw a card and gain a life. And then Tails next turn could be pretty good. So I think we've stabilized well enough for this board. They look to be a little bit lower of lower to the ground deck, and we look to be a little bit more into the late game. So I think we have the advantage here, but you never know. We'll see what comes up. They don't really have good attacks, unless they have a combat trick of sorts. Because this could be blocked by Kami and Scrounger and it would kill it and neither of them would die. So they're just looking to draw a card here, I guess. Okay. Resolves. Song Shaper, alright. And we'll create a treasure because we can. Now we have access to 7 mana, so we could go Tails plus Trainee. Then we get rid of the treasure, but we're not really in need of treasure at this point, so. Yeah, so let's go Tails here, put that on the Jukai Preserver. I don't even know if we need to attack with it is the thing. Do they have good blocks? Yeah, they could block. We would trade a 4/4 for a 2/3 or something. So I don't even think the blocks or the attacks are that great. So we'll just leave it. Another hit off of that for them, plus another 2/2. So this did draw them 2 cards and got them a 2/2 both times they played it. So Very underrated card so far, and that's why I took them early when I did, and then moved off of it once we found that green-black was open, so. Ninja's Kunai. Okay, so that can kill the Fang, or the trainee, I guess. Probably going to want to kill the Fang. Interesting attack here. They clearly have to have some sort of combat trick, don't they? No, they could use the kunai to hit one of these down, is what they're going for. So if we block with the Scrounger, then they could kill it with that. So I think we could just block here and trade. And get another treasure. Draw another land. I think we'll put it on the Kami here. Still don't think we have great attacks. So we'll just play out our hand. Maybe didn't need to play that land, but it's probably not the end of the world. Chain Flail Centipede. So yeah, they're looking to be pretty aggro here. I'm wondering if we can survive long enough to stabilize against this. Because they can re-equip a bunch of times to give creatures +3/+1. And use this to have it draw a card if it hits us. So. But we do have a good board of blockers, and we're getting to 5/5 next turn. Okay, so that attacks as... So that is what they are getting. What we said they would. So it attacks as a 5/3. I think we could just trade here because the Kunai is going to knock down one of these two creatures eventually. So we may as well just get value out of it before they kill it. Preserver is pretty good. Would like to put the counter here, but the Kunai can still kill it. I want to get this to 4 toughness. Probably want to be attacking with it this turn. And I think we're going to get this to 4 toughness to get it out of reach of the Kunai. So let's attack with this because this is the only thing on our board that's at risk from the Kunai right now. So we're just going to try to get value out of it while we can. We'll play the Preserver and make it a 4/4 to get it out of risk or out of range. So these re-equips are going to constantly make these attackers as 5-power attackers. And I think we have to trade with them. Oops. We can't just keep taking 5 over and over. So just going to have to keep trading. Maybe that was an argument for putting... Okay, so we knew that was probably going to happen. That's why we attacked with it when we did. Pass. It'll trade. And they can start re-equipping over and over again. So that is the value that they're getting that we are not. All right. Another Scrounger is not a bad draw. think we can attack here. We do have a good attack with this one. So we'll attack with our 5/5. It also has vigilance. Okay, let's take 5. This attacks as a 4/3 right now. If they equip it, attacks as a 5/3. Or 5/4, I mean. So we'll probably have to trade with Preserver. Is this a race we win? I mean, we could attack back for, like, 13. We will be at 11. I think this is, like, their last creature that kind of matters on this board. A 2/2 can only get up to a 5/3 with these equipment, so I guess that any 2-power creature does matter. But I'm going to trade here. I think we have better top game than they do. We have better draws on our deck than they do. I think. So I'm leaning on that. Alright, just playing a 1/1. Alright. So I think I will choose to put the counter on this time. Because it will make this has menace. So we can still trade it, but we'll have a 6 power and 6 toughness blocker. And right now the best they can do is 5 attack. So let's play the Preserver, put it on our... We could put it here as well, but I think I'm going to put it here. We could even get in, because right now they have to triple block. They could chump. This has Vigilance, so it's kind of a free attack for us. Oh, they are going to. Okay. So we'll trade for all that. And then I think we can... We don't need treasure. I mean, we don't need to do that. We'll keep them up as blockers. Dockside Chef, that'll start getting them some value if they want to pump cards into that. We'll draw land. So right now they can get up to a 4-powered attacker if they put both of them on one of these. So we can attack with the Preserver, I think. Keep the Kami back. They're going to sacrifice it. Okay. Really tight game here. Really grindy. Just hope they don't have some big blue bomb or something. We've seen Octopus so far as one of their only uses for blue. It's got to be more than that. Okay, so this can attack as 5. We'll draw another land. It'd be a 5/3. I'm fine trading that off for Preserver. So in the interest of that, I won't attack, so we can try to trade it with Preserver if they do attack with it. I doubt they will. I think they just did that, so we couldn't attack with Preserver. The reality chip. Yuck. Okay, so they can just start playing off the top of their library. But they only have 13 cards left. And we are hitting nothing but lands here, so... Alright, that could get out of hand. There's another artifact. Playing off the top. Keep going. Alright, so I think our plan is switched to decking here. That's pretty much going to be the way we win this game. Yep, there's our 4th or 5th in a row. So, right when we need to start actually, like, stabilizing a little bit more than we are, we drew, I think, 5 lands in a row. Just like yesterday's video. What's new? You know, pretty used to it at this point. So we have 11, 12, so we have 5 lands in our last 17 cards. We haven't drawn the dragon, we haven't drawn either Tanuki, we haven't drawn our Blossom Prancer. This game's very winnable, but our deck has to cooperate. Okay, so that'll be able to attack for 4 every turn. And they get to scry when they do it. Keeping it on top. Okay. That's not quite going to do it right now. So we'll take another 4, probably 5. I think we're on a 2-turn clock here at this point. So, yep, looks like our deck just didn't cooperate. I think we had the win in the bag there, and then I don't think we've done anything for like 6 turns. We've just basically done absolutely nothing. So they could sacrifice end of our turn, attack, sacrifice again. That'll put us to 1. Okay, so this is a 4-4. Doesn't quite block their 4-5. Has Death Touch, though. So that could go a long way. Let's play Kura. Chances are they've got some sort of removal in their hand that'll deal with it, though, at this point. They know we have a land, and worst case, this will just make a bigger creature when it dies. So, I think our game plan is on Kura at this point. Yeah, so I think they've got that X spell that'll kill it. That X red removal spell. Flame Discharge, that's the exact one. And I think that should probably do it. I'm not sure we have more reach in our deck. This Puzzle Maker's going to hit us for 4 here. And then they can ping us down to 2. And then we're dead next turn. Okay, so we lose a life, we lose another life. And we lose all of the life, so that'll do it. So yeah, our deck just did not cooperate there, did it? Feel like we had that in the bag, and then all of a sudden it just slipped away from us. Alright, pretty good hand here. Dockside Chef on 1. And then we can go from there. So this can sacrifice itself, which is pretty neat. If they target it with removal or something like that. Virus Beetle. Probably get rid of a Scrounger here. I think we need this land. So we'll go Blade Blesser to start, so that next turn we can play Scrounger and it'll have artifact and an enchantment on the battlefield. So let's attack first. They won't block. And then we'll go Blade Blesser. Scrounger themselves. Okay, that's fine. I think we're going to play our Scrounger, so this has Menace and Death Touch. If they want to trade with both their creatures, I'm okay with that. Alright. That won't be able to do anything anymore. There's another land. So now we can go Blade Blesser and Reckoner Raid here. But they do have more cards than us, so... And that takes out our last card. Which would have been a good one. I'm sure we'll go ahead and... Good thing is we have Dockside Chef to sacrifice this. Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, and of course we draw the land we could have used to cast that. So let's play the land because we might need to do this. So we'll keep this up so we can get that extra treasure at the end of their turn. This does have Menace and Death Touch. I think we need to attack with it. They'll trade both Beetles for it, probably. But, we need to clear this board up a little bit. Then we'll end the turn. They'll make a treasure, but it's okay. Alright, that'll be a problem. We'll get rid of this. Lethal Exploit. Nothing is modified right now, so we can't get rid of the Koi, and I want to keep this to try to get that Koi, because that's going to be the biggest problem for us. So, make the treasure, and then pass back to our turn. Long Reach of Night can be pretty good. So let's have them sacrifice a creature here, or maybe discard their land, whatever they have. Would almost rather them discard a land, because that would ensure that they're just top decking at this point. So that means they have something better than Moon Circuit Hacker in hand. Still don't have good attacks here. Nothing is modified. We need to get rid of that koi. Currently 3 cards in graveyard, which will make this pretty good. I forgot we can use this to sacrifice treasures. We will be doing that, that's for sure. Okay, they'll hit us for 3. Can't do anything about it. Octopus. That might need to be a target for lethal exploit, because if they put that on the koi, that'll be a problem. We'll have to see here. Don't want to use this now. I want to save that treasure. Okay, so if they go to equip this, I'll probably kill it. But I think I want to sacrifice this treasure right now to see if we can find something that'll get rid of this koi first. Let's first attack with our menace creature. I'm fine trading it for either the chef or the octopus. Looks like they don't want to do that. So sacrifice the artifact, draw a card, hit a land. So I think we're probably going to have to exploit the octopus here and hope we can find another answer for the flyer. Because if we let them keep hitting us with the flyer and drawing cards, it's going to be a bigger problem. So did they go for the equip? They do. So we're going to go ahead and kill it in response here. Or at least try to. Okay, that worked out all right. Alright, we'll get that treasure. Trainee, not great, but at least it's a creature. Let's draw a card first. Also not great. Don't have any attacks. So we'll play Trainee. I suppose we can also just play Forest, because we need to use a lot of the mana here. No attacks, and the turn. Alright, starting to stall out a little bit. Now is the point where we need our deck to cooperate. This is basically the exact point in the last game where if we had top decked anything but 6 straight lands, we would have been able to win. But let's see if we can do that now. Interesting to channel that and not play it to draw 2, but okay. It's weird, the in-game audio gets super quiet when you're looking at a card. So this little attack is a 5/4 right now, which can trade with the koi. No, now it doesn't really trade with a lot. Probably need it to be bigger. So if we attacked, we'd trade with like a Scrounger, which I don't think is good enough. Well, it's a card, but it's not a great one. Considering we don't have any Master's Rebukes in this deck, the Fangs just kind of hold down the ground. Okay. We can hold on to this one. Oh, alright. Yeah, we could probably sacrifice... I think I'm actually gonna take this treasure now, if they'll give it to me. I think I might start sacrificing the Fangs if we really don't find something. Because... I'm not sure what exactly these are doing on this board. We need to find some Tanukis, or the Dragon, or... Tales of Master Sashiro, or Blossom Prancer. We have a lot of good draws on our deck. We just have to find them. And right now, these really aren't doing much. So they're going to keep drawing cards as well. Dockside Chef plus Undercity Scrounger is quite the combo. Especially double Scrounger. We've got 4 in our deck, so we could get the combo too. Hoverbike is something we won't be able to be blocking. Okay. Okay. So they could start hitting us with Kois as well. But they're holding that back to block. Yet another Scrounger. Deck looks very similar to ours. Iron Apprentice. They have like 40,000 artifacts in this deck. And Searchlight Companion. So, yep, more flyers. Kami is a decent draw. We do have an artifact. And Tanuki's a decent draw. So this attacks as a 6/4, which can trade for 2 of their creatures, I suppose. Right now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so we can't cast both of these. I think I would like to get the Tanuki down, because that can start attacking. So this could trade for 2 of their creatures, basically a Scrounger plus an Apprentice. Is that good enough? Probably not. I think it still needs to be more. So let's play Tanuki and then hold the Swamp for protection against another Virus Beetle. We do need some extra mana because this, I mean, we're only protecting against a top deck card that we don't know they have in their deck. And this also leaves up the opportunity to hold up Dockside Chef here, so yeah, I think I'm willing to just play it out. And if they top deck a Virus Beetle, then tough cookies. I think we need to start turning these fangs into actual cards by sacrificing it. Okay. They'll keep hitting us in the air because we can't do anything about it. Okay, so they will be attacking with the koi now. We're on a 3-turn clock now. So, yeah. "13 cards in deck, don't think it'll come down to that. I'm going to get rid of this Fang because I don't see it doing a whole lot right now. That does even less. Get a treasure and see if they want to tap any of their scroungers to get a treasure. Nope. There's another Tanuki. So now we have 9 mana. Still not enough for both. So let's attack with this one. Still don't want to attack with this yet. Because it would trade for just an apprentice and a scrounger, and I don't think that's good enough. We'll attack here. Does have trample. There's that. Okay. Does it connect? Alright, alright. I think we gotta get another one down then. Okay. Game is coming to a head here. They're going to be drawing 4 cards this turn. So I'm just going to do this now. So all this resolves. Can actually use one of these treasures to play the Kami now. Because they didn't do it on our end step. And having another creature on the battlefield can only be good for us trying to race them here, because we're dead in 2 turns if we don't win next turn, basically. Let's just use this one now. I know we're not getting the value of sacrificing this to the chef, but again, we want more creatures on the battlefield. Don't need more lands in hand. And next turn we might just have to make an all-out attack and hope it's good enough. We do have 3 Jukai Preservers in the deck. We haven't drawn any of them, and that's a combat trick we can use to push through some damage here. Okay, so we'll take 7. And then hope we don't die. Could have a ninja. Okay, now we'll take 9. With lifelink. Don't like to see it, because now they get 2 more blockers. Yep, I think this might... The Flyers might have got us once again. Okay, so we're dead next turn, so we have to all out attack and hope it's good enough. Math is for blockers. Okay. It's a lot of soaking up of trample damage, because all they have to do is survive. There's the Jukai Preserver. See if we can find another one here. No, that doesn't let us survive, so we can't play that. So we have to all out attack, and then maybe if something gets eaten by a, I don't even know what, if something gets eaten or won't get through, we can sacrifice it to try to find another Jukai Preserver. Because we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So we can sacrifice and use 2 Jukai Preservers to get 4 extra damage through. So that's going to be what we have to do here. And hopefully it's good enough. Moment of truth. Okay, makes sense. So that means they take 4 so far. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 they're taking right now, but they still have 3 more blockers. Okay, so as it is, they're taking 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Right? So how is this working? These are each blocked by 1, so they're trampling over for 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what they're taking. So let's go like this. Channel this. Put it on here and here. And I think that should be good. And just in case it's not, we can sacrifice just a random dumb creature that's not getting through and try to find one more. So this one is being blocked by Dockside Chef, so it's not getting through, so we can sacrifice it and see if we find another Jukai Preserver. We didn't, but I think it's still good enough. So, cross your fingers. Awesome, we got there. On the back of Jukai Preserver, off the top. Sweet. Heck of a game there. Alright, we're on the play with our mono green deck here. We have a 2-drop and a 4-drop, so I guess we're keeping it. Gonna be awkward, obviously, but we'll keep it. Okay, well we can kind of cast all the cards in our hand here, and this can hopefully help us find something else we can cast. What does that have? Trample? Oh look, another forest. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. Okay. So next turn we can go Preserver into Prancer and then see... Can we put a land in our hand? Creature or enchantment? So nope. Can't find that swamp that we'll need. Alright. Maybe they have lethal exploit that they're going to use. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sure, another forest. See if they get priority here. They don't, so we can put the counter here. And then get in for 3. We've got 7 forests in our hand. I think we might only have one other forest in the entire deck. I don't know. Maybe it seems like I complain about lands a lot, but does anyone else deal with this kind of stuff? I mean, we lost the first game because of it. We lost the last game yesterday because of it. We have 7 forests in our hand here. I mean, what do you want from me? Playing against the world's slowest decision maker here. Can't block that. Sure, go to damage. Okay, no blocks. Okay, go on. Go on. Nice. Alright, what's next? Okay, sure. We want to go Tails or Blossom Prince? I think we want to go Tails because this eventually turns into a 5/5. Put it in here. Probably could have put it here to have a block on this, but they're probably just going to give it +2/+2. They might even gain 2 life here. Yeah, they might gain 2 life. Mukotai Ambusher with no ninjutsu. Alright. Am I fine trading... There's a swamp. Am I fine trading Preserver for this? We can put it on Preserver and attack with both still. Because this, if they block with this, it'll still trade. Because whenever this blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1. And then they don't have a good block on Preserver. So let's give it here. We'll do this. And then we'll get in. And then we could follow up with Blossom Prancer and have 2 good blocks on the Ambusher. This flips into a 2/3. Really giving the blocks some... Okay, so they're going to... Oh, they're just chumping. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and tap like this in case we find a snake. There is a snake. Do we have an enchantment? We don't have an artifact. So is Kami good enough? We won't draw a card. I think we're the aggressor here, and if we just take Fang... Yeah, I think we could just take Fang. And then it could even attack next turn. Don't let the auto tapper screw you up if you know what's in your deck. Alright, 6 lands, hopefully no Greater Tanuki. That would kind of stonewall our board here. We could still attack with Preserver in the Tails next turn, but we'll hold these back. So this is our first non-green-white deck here on the channel, and I think it's performing pretty well. Surprisingly enough, so Golgari, which is green-black, doesn't really have much of an identity in this format, I think. Like, its signpost uncommon doesn't really tell you what it wants to be doing. It just returns a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, which is inherently powerful, but it doesn't really have, like, oh, artifact spells, you do this, or enchantment spells, you do that, blah, blah, blah. So, but green-black is actually the highest performing deck on 17lands.com. If y'all don't know what 17lands.com is, you should check it out. It provides a lot of good statistics for players who use it about the format, and about cards in the format, and about performing decks and all that kind of stuff. And green-black is actually the highest performing deck in the format. And it's basically off just the pack of good cards. You know, Jukai Preserver, Blossom Prancer, Tales of Master Sushiro. These are all just good cards. They're also green, but we have a couple good black cards in here too. Good black sagas in this format. So, yeah. What are they doing over here? Did it take you that long to decide that you needed to do that? They didn't put the counter on it for some reason, so they need to hold up mana. I think I'm fine attacking with everything. So they've got to have some sort of combat trick here, I would think. Nope, they just didn't put the counter on it. Okay, so what do they have? You are already dead, maybe? Nope, just nothing. Just stone cold nothing. Come on, Bobby. Get your head in the game. There we go, on to the next one. Alright, so we're on the play. We don't have a 1 or 2, but we have 3s into 4s. Can't really mulligan it. We are 3 and 1 here, going for more. Deck seems pretty good. Just got a lot of... It doesn't even have a ton of synergy, just got a lot of raw power in it. And that goes a long way. I think if we had picked up any of the black removal spells, we got 1 lethal exploit, and that's the only one we saw in the entire draft. We didn't see any Twisted Embraces. We didn't see any Master's Rebukes, anything like that. So we got a little bit low on interaction and removal, but our creatures seem to be holding their ground. Opponent seriously debating their first land to play. It's a very difficult decision. Let's hope they make the correct one. I do really feel for them. It's a very difficult one to make. Got 8 cards in hand. So many options. Just really, really have to think about it. There we go. Oh my goodness, they did it. They did it. We got there. So now... we're just going to have to play random 3-mana 3/2s, although the next turn they'll gain Menace, depending on what we play. So, Bamboo Grove Archer, okay. I might just play Long Reach of Night next turn to get that going. You cast target enchantment card from your graveyard, okay. So this would give this Death Touch, but I just want to get this going. Gives it Menace, but I don't think we can attack with it, depending on what they do here. Because we want to block this. Okay, so they discarded an enchantment, so if they attack with this, they can play this next turn. Or even if they just attack with this, they can play that. It's pretty good value. Turns out the Long Reach of Night did not work out well. Do they get to do it again? Are we actively enabling their game plan? No, they'll say, well, basically, yeah. Yeah, that didn't go over so well. So we can play Jukai Preserver and Okiba Reckoner Raid here. Next turn a land lets us play both of these. Yeah, that's probably what we have to do. So let's play the Preserver. And then put it on, probably on itself. And then we can attack with Blade Blesser because it has Menace. Then we can trade for Norika, and we're totally fine doing that. So let's attack here. Okay. They will just completely blank our Long Reach of Night. So they could have removal, which could make this attack not great now. So I don't know, because they're not tapped out. So if we attack with this and then they had 3 enchantments they would have to kill. But they could block here and here, and I don't know if we want to trade it for a Grove Archer. So let's start with Scrounger, which does give it Death Touch. They are getting priority. So they have something. But now if they kill the Scrounger in response to our attack, then we would trade this for the Grove Archer, which they can just keep replaying over and over and over again. So I'm going to wait till they tap out here. For as long as this is on the battlefield, any enchantment they trade with, as long as we can't block a flyer, they can just keep replaying it over and over. So I won't attack for that reason. Greater Tanuki. It's pretty good, because they're just going to be able to play it next turn for free. Pretty ridiculous. I've not seen this card pop off like that. And it has all of the synergy so far. Alright. So we can get in with our Menace Death Toucher here at this point, I think. But yeah, they rethought that one. Do they want to trade 2 creatures for it? I doubt it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We'll play another one. As long as this artifact survives, we do have the edge here, I think. Okay, so do we take 6? It's got trample. Yeah, probably so. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, that resolves. I think I might need to sacrifice this, because this is not doing much right now. And it won't for as long as they have this stupid Norika. So they'll sacrifice this, be able to get a treasure. Then we'll go to our turn. So this draws a card. Let's first get in with both of these again. Two, three, four. Let's draw that card. Gain the life. Jukai Preserver. Is that better or worse than just playing a Scrounger here? If we can channel this. We can channel this onto that to save it. Or to like make it trade with one of these. We could also save it next turn, attack with everything, and then have it as a combat trick to try to win. Because I think if we're not going to survive 2 more turns with both of these Tanukis on the battlefield, so next turn is the turn we have to try to win. So with that in mind, I think I'm actually going to play the Scrounger, hold on to the Preserver, and then next turn try. We're going to have to chump with something. But I think I'll play the Scrounger here. And then see how they want to attack. So I think I'm going to chump with this one, because if we chumped with a 1-2, we'd be taking 10, and then we would die to a Jukai Preserver in hand. So if we do this, we're taking 8. And then we can still all-out attack next turn. And we still have an artifact to give these Death Touch. Let's block here. Hopefully they don't have some enormous combat trick I don't know about. Okay, go to 4. Now what do they follow it up with? No more creatures? Okay, so they're going to arrest that. That's fair. And Fang. So what happens if we attack with all? This has Menace, this has Menace. 3, 4, 1, 2. It's gotta be enough, right? I mean, maybe we get blown out. Maybe they tap something down. Let's see if they want to tap something down. That could decide if I... Okay, so they do. Now do we have enough? So they would block 1, 2, 3. And we'd be able to get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they could trade. Yeah, they know we wouldn't have it here, so... Gosh, can we survive if we don't attack, though, is the question. We can survive, for sure. But... Well, I don't know if we... Oh gosh, this is really, really close here. There's a chance that if we attack, they block in such a way that allows us to win. But there's also a chance that if we attack, they block correctly and we don't win, and then we just straight up lose. And then if we go back to our turn, then we're going to be trading like almost all of our creatures to get rid of these things. They're still going to have a Moth Rider Patrol. This can't attack, though, so... Maybe it's worth just holding back one more turn? I don't think we can, because they have good blocks. So if we attack with everything, they'd let this and this through, and then our +2 counters only take them down to 1. So they could eat this, they could trade here, chump there, and block and bounce there. Don't think we can attack. So let's go Fang. Let's go Preserver. That's not what I clicked on. I think we can put it on this one to threaten a trade with the Tanuki here. And then we'll end the turn. We can sacrifice this Blade Blesser to the Chef. I don't know if that was correct. Well, let's see. I don't think it was correct to attack with everything, because then we're counting on our opponent to make a mistake. And I don't think we want to be put in that position. We can't be counting on them to make mistakes. Okay, so they're going to gain some life here. They can put this back into hand and give +1/+1 counters. I think that was a pretty tough top deck for us to beat here, because they're going to be at 9 now. Yeah, so they can make combat difficult here. Okay. Makes sense. Can't block Mothrider Patrol. So we'll go to blockers. Probably have to block like this here. Like this here. And I think that ensures that we kill both of them. They can put the counter here and make it trade with both of these. And they could put the counter here, but it would still die and trade with just that, so it's not very good. They could put the counter here and here to get in for 2, and then we're dead next turn. But I think this is how we have to block. Okay, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to make it trade and then put us on a clock here. So let's sacrifice the one under the arrest, because I don't think we have artifact or enchantment removal even in the deck at all. So we'll get rid of this one and then get that treasure. And they have a land. Okay. So I think Lethal Exploit has to get rid of this. And then we are relatively stable. So let's let's kill it. Had to do that now. Well, we could have done it on their turn and then, yeah, but maybe that was a little bit better. I think we are able to attack with the Blade Blesser here. See if we can find another creature. Nope. End the turn. They only have 2 attackers. We are at 2. We have 4 blockers here, so. Okay. They can replay a Tanuki. Sure. I think we can just trade here. Because this has Menace, and we're trying to push through some more damage here now. Double Menace. Okay, here comes another Tanuki. Create that treasure, draw that card. Double Swamp. Awkward. Okay, so we have a Tanuki for ourselves. If we attack with everything, we don't have it. So I think we just have to play this. I do think we need to attack with this, though. This might put us dead to removal. If they remove the Tanuki. Whereas if we don't attack with it, we are not dead to removal. But we're pretty close. Yeah, I'm willing to attack. Alright, so we either lose this turn or win the next one, if I had to guess. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I think we're blocking here and here to prevent some sort of combat trick. Probably need to... Gosh, so if they kill this... They could have just killed it and attacked with everything, pre-combat. So they could have a combat trick. We could block here as well. But this basically ensures lethal on the backswing. So let's just block like that. Okay, pass to damage. Sure. Okay, my turn. They're still getting priority, so they have something. So both of these have menace. So if we attack and they kill this one, they could eat this. So I don't think we can attack with that. This does still have Death Touch. So let's see what they do about it. Careful cultivation, okay? That's fine. Sure. I think we can play this one, and I think we can actually make this treasure and draw now. Because we have 3 blockers. Well, not if we draw another land. I think we just... Maybe they're in desperation mode, but we got to make sure they don't give it trample somehow. So we're going to try to block all of these here. So we can sacrifice this to itself, and it would still die. Do we want to do that? I can't think of a trample trick in the format, so let's sacrifice it to itself, because it will still be able to die here. Oh my gosh. Let's do another land. Now, if they kill the Scrounger, then we're in deep trouble, so maybe that was wrong. They do have an instant. No, alright, so that worked. I can't think of a haster in red, in green or white. They still have priority. Should we just get in with both? Maybe they have a flash creature. I don't know. It's too early in the format to know what they could have here as an instant. I think I'm just going to play it safe and go in with one. Hopefully that's good enough. Okay, so they did kind of have a flash creature, but... All right, we got there. Really, really close game. All right, pretty good hand here. I think we can start... Yeah, we'll start with Dockside Chef. With this hand, doesn't really matter because the next turn we're just going to play the other one unless we draw a 2-drop, so... Bamboo Grove Archer is pretty good. I'm fine trading Shigeki for it, though. All three. And a network terminal, so they're going to ramp themselves here. So we have an artifact and an enchantment, so Kami of Terrible Secrets is going to be great. Again, I'm fine trading because we still have an enchantment and an artifact if this does trade. Okay. That should be pretty good. Twisted Embrace, alright. Okay. Kura the Boundless Sky. Yeah. I think we'll play that, and then next turn we can do Sashiro, put a counter on it, and get in still. What's the first attack here? So nothing. So they could kill this in response to us going for a Tails on top of it, but I think that's gonna be alright. Oh, they don't have anything. Okay. Next turn we could put the counter here, get in with... Oh, we should have attacked with Fang. That was a mistake. Got a little trigger happy there. And they're just scooping. Alright, yeah, Kura's pretty good. Alright, very similar hammer on the draw this time, though. We are 5-1 here with this green-black deck. Leech Gauntlet. That's a good one. But we do have Jukai Trainee to block it. Could they be mono black? They might have not read that card very well. Who knows? Okay, awkward. They're not mono black. Now they've got their mana. Era of Enlightenment. Okay. It has Menace, but doesn't really matter. We can block it. Mech Titan Core. Oh geez, that could be a problem eventually. Especially if we keep drawing all the lands here. I think we'll go ahead and pass. Pass to attackers. No attacks. And a double striker. Okay. Another Scrounger's not bad. And then we'll go ahead and pass. Alright. Yet another Scrounger. Okay. Creatures start dying here. We can start drawing all the cards if our Dockside Chef survives. Nope, still nothing. Draw a land. Okay. At least the board is stalled. To draw a card, gain a life. Pretty good. Wouldn't mind having access to one of those right about now. Jukai Preserver. I think that's something we can just play. Don't need to channel it. So let's put it on the trainee here. And we could attack with it, but I don't think we need to. Again, our late game is better. So we're fine to just chill for a sec. Iron Apprentice. They do have 2 artifacts now. I don't even know what this does, but it'll be a problem if they if they ever get to use it. It's a pretty good draw. Only problem is they've got 2 first strikers, so not really. And I think I will play this land because of all the, you know, drawing and treasures that we can start doing here. Alright, so that's 3 artifacts. Exile this and 4 others. Create a 10/10 Flying Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Haste. Yeah, that's just gonna kill us. So I don't think this Fang's doing anything with these on the battlefield, and I want these treasures and to start drawing extra cards here, so. Okay, so let's get this value. Long Reach of Night. Okay, it's something. But this Mech Titan core is going to take us out soon enough if we can't deal with something. Oh, I would love for them to sack the Apprentice. That makes the Mech Titan core farther away. Okay. We'll do this one here. We'll draw an extra card here. Tanuki. Don't think we need to tap these down right now, so we'll just pass. So we're kind of waiting for our dragon, I guess. What does that even do? It's decent, but our board is pretty clogged up. Okay. Again, Fang is doing basically nothing on this board, so we're gonna get these artifacts, we're gonna get these treasures, drawing cards. Oh my gosh, there's all the lands. Alrighty, opponent, where you at? That's the bad part about playing with vehicles sometimes. They constantly get priority for crewing, even though they're not going to be crewing. Blossom Prancer's pretty good. We're going to have 11 mana, so we can cast both of these here. Got rid of their first striker. That's something you like to see. We'll take a Jukai Preserver here. We'll play Greater Tanuki. We do have to worry a little bit about decking. But yeah, so still we can attack with Trainee here at this point, but that's about it. So let's attack with the Trainee. If we really need to use this, I mean, they know about it, but need to start chipping away at that life total. This is going to flip into a 0-4, 2-4. Okay. Tax is a 2-4 menace. Oh, they're going to trade with their double striker. Fine with that. That opens up all kinds of attacks for us. Okay, never mind. So if we put the counter on it, it doesn't matter, because this will resolve before it gets +1/+1. So do we sacrifice it for 2 treasures? No, I think we just let that all happen. Okay, so they still have their double striker. So we're looking for... We don't even have any modified creatures currently. But we need to get this off the battlefield. That would do so much for our game plan here of attacking. We can attack with at least these two now. Okay, my turn. Reckoner raid. Play that land. We can just see if we find anything pre-combat here that would influence our decisions. Not really. Opponent's making some mac and cheese over there while playing the game. I think we can play this pre-combat now. Open up an attack with the Preserver, Prancer, and Tanuki. Then we can go to combat. Get in there with all of these. If they have some sort of pump spell to pump this, then that's what they have, but we can't just not attack. Okay. Sure. Very happy to trade that off if they'll let that happen. And I think we will trade this one for the flyer. Well, No, I want to trade it for this one, because this has the ability to get out of hand if they have more artifacts at some point. And it did work. They let us trade for the double straw. Oh, no. Of course they didn't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't really even need to sacrifice it, so go to damage. Then play Reckoner Raid plus, I guess, Blade Blesser, because it's going to be a better attacker here. And we're not quite close to decking yet, but we do have to find a way to win this game. And as long as this double striker's on the board, we don't have good attacks. Naomi is another reason to... yeah, so, I mean, we're close to decking ourselves here. Guess we'll gain a life, draw a card. Still draw another one here. Tails could be pretty good. So we can put a counter on this. On the Jukai Preserver. And let it get in there. Let's go to combat. Go like this here. This attacks as a 2/4. It's not good enough. So we have 4 lands left in our last 9. That's important to notice. Alright, so here I think we can get rid of the flyer. And here we will absolutely get rid of Blizzard Blade Kitsune if they let us do it. We got rid of the Double Striker! Hooray! Let's tap one of them for a treasure so we can draw a card at the end of their turn. Alright, so now our Blade Blessers are really going to start going to town here. Although they have another first striker, so maybe not. Lethal Exploit is good. I think we're going to put the counter probably here. I think we need to Lethal Exploit away their first striker. That opens up all kinds of attacks for us. So let's put the counter here. And we can now exploit their first striker. And then what we can do is this attacks for 3, which is still not good enough. So we're going to get in with all of these. If they want to trade with all of these things, they're going to have to basically wipe their board clean. Okay, and alright. sure. And I don't know if we're able to keep drawing cards here. We have 4 lands left, so we kind of have to deal with what we've got on board to help us get to the end. There's Kura. That's good. So let's not reveal that we have that, and then we'll go to combat and we can attack. We can attack like this, I think. Honestly, we could probably just get in with everything at this point. I mean, these aren't as valuable anymore. Neither is the Dockside Chef. So let's just get in like this, and however they want to attack is, or however they want to block, they're free to do so. Okay, so we will kill Naomi here. And then I actually will hold on to Kura because of the potential of Farewell. Just like we got burned earlier in this game. Now, if they make us discard it, that's going to feel bad too. Yeah, it was worth it. I think it was worth holding on to Kura there. So, 6-1, 2 chances at the trophy here. Let's go for it. Alright, so the hand's a little slow, but what's good about it is that both lands to get to these and spells are good. So, we'll be fine drawing whatever we want to draw. I see your Okiba Reckoner Raid, and I raise you an Okiba Reckoner Raid. Blade of Oni. Oh no. That could be pretty bad. At least our Scrounger blocks it well. But they can just make everything into 5/5s. So, could be a problem. Actually, this has Menace as well. So we're just going to get smacked for a bunch. Enormous Energy Blade. Okay. And we'll play this and hope they don't have removal. They are playing black though, so. Maybe a mono black deck? Yep, there's the removal. Gonna take 5 now. We're gonna play this, and then we're gonna put the counter over here, I guess? Found their blue. We're gonna take 9 if they have another removal spell. So there's the 9. Guess we sacrifice Jukai Preserver, and then we die. So yeah, that was pretty quick. Menace, 10, 9, 8. Well, it's a quick game. Let's go on to the final one. Alright, so this hand needs a lot of help, but I hate mulliganing and we're keeping it. So, after getting absolutely trounced last game by what I think might be the best curve I will ever see in this format, we're probably going to get out aggroed this game with a hand that we can't draw out of. So hopefully we draw another land and can at least stick a Scrounger. Oni Cult Anvil. I think I'm just going to kill this, because it can get out of hand with equipping and stuff. There's a green. Alright, so we're not completely out of it. Any land next turn lets us go Blade Blesser and Shigeki, which will be great. This is a bit awkward. I think we want to get this down because then any land lets us have this online, but it's very mana inefficient is the problem. So So this has Death Touch as long as we control an artifact. So it has Death Touch. So let's just get in with the Scrounger, and it can at least block the Brute Suit if we really need to do that. And that might be the end of this game, folks. Because we don't really have a way to get rid of that. So, yeah. Played against this card so many times. Can we even outrace it is the thing. I don't know. Guess I'll block. Of course, they get a 1/1 out of the deal. I'd like to get the card out of this. Which means we have to go Shigeki right now. But that's woefully mana inefficient as well, so I guess we won't get the card. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield. So this will leave the battlefield, so they can just keep attacking with this and getting more of them. Or sacrificing them on their turn. Seems kind of crazy. So we'll hold this back to threaten the double block. Problem is, Kura's not even going to get us out of this, because all they have to do is activate that, and they don't even have to play the card. They can deal 1 to any target, I guess. So, there's that. At least they kind of missed there. That needed to say non-token, I think. It's a little insane that they're able to just do that over and over and over again. Also missed that trigger a little bit. They could have just pinged us for 1 and got it down. So we have Kura if we want to use it for the treasure. I think we kind of have to do that. We could also just go Fang and Scrounger. And then still save the treasure. I think I'd rather do that for now. Because I want Kura to die into something that they likely can't kill using Hidetsugo's ability. Didn't want to play the land if you're going to go ahead and activate this, but we'll see if they do that or not. They will. Hopefully they hit a land, and they do, so instantly punished. Kami's Flare the Fang, okay? Sure. I'm going to keep on doing this loop-de-loop. Greater Tanuki. If we play Kura, then we're going to be 2 lands away from the Tanuki. If we play the Trainee, we can channel the Tanuki, but then I really want to be able to play this as the creature, because we have to try to punch through some damage here. So I think we just have to play Kura and hope it survives. And if it dies into a 4/4, at least that can trade with this. So, let's get in. We can make more treasures eventually, I think, too. Okay. And then we'll just play Kura and see if they can't flip a 4 mana value card off Hidetsugo or not. Usually black-red decks are a little low on the mana curve. So, another land. So, they didn't learn from their last mistake. 5, 6. Okay, so they have that uncommon Ironhoof Boar. Okay, that doesn't quite do it. We will take 9, though. Well, so we could block here and then get a 4/4. But we need to win in the air, so no blocks. All right. Still need a green for Tanuki. Let's get in with Kura. Play the trainee. And then try to trade for the boar. Can you do this at instant speed? Yeah. So that can be used as a combat trick too. Which is gross. Okay, they missed, which is good. So we could trade for boar here if they attack with it. Resolves. All right. Long Reach of Night versus Greater Tanuki. I think we need to get the Tanuki down to try to pressure their life total a little bit more. So let's go to combat. Hit with Kura. And then we'll get the good doggo down. Close game here. Hidetsugo's done a lot of work. If it weren't for that, we would definitely have won by now, but all right, if they're going to activate Hidetsugo again, then they keep misplaying that. Target creature can't block this turn, okay? Hopefully they flip a land. They flip a 1-drop. Fine by me. Hit him. Okay. Resolves. It's close here. Close game. Close game. Can we squeak it out? They will have to sacrifice a creature because they can't discard a card. So there is that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So we can do both of these. And this combat trick should help us win this one, I think. Probably going to sacrifice the 1/1. Think this should do it. Okay. Then we will channel this, put a 1/1 counter here and here. Auto pay. And that means they should be taking 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that, my friends, is the second trophy of the format with a green-black deck playing against Hidetsugo on turn 4. It's pretty crazy, but we got there in the end. Heck of a deck. I'll let you get on with your day. Long video. Sorry about that, but it was a good one. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video to toggle through our Neon Dynasty trophy playlist, of which half of the drafts on this channel are already, or to find the last video in case you missed it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for your daily draft.